5 hours. That's how long I held that plank. Showed you what a good plank is, right? You know, unfortunately, we get a lot of people that don't quite understand the meaning of the plank. They just think it's about surviving at that position. But if you noticed earlier how my hips were sagging, my shoulders were just collapsing. I just had this caved-in feeling in my body. There's a whole bunch of weakness, a whole bunch of energy leaks. And if I'm trying to perform a plank that way, and I want to take that, because we call that a functional exercise, and I want to take that outside of the gym, I'm just teaching my body bad moving mechanics. So there's no wonder why people are hurting their backs and their knees and their shoulders when they go and bend over to pick something up. They don't have that strong foundation. Now you might be looking at that and well, I can't hold the plank very long. That's good, because you shouldn't really hold the plank for so long, right? If you have the full intent of the plank, you don't have to worry about holding it for more than 30 seconds at least. So what I want to talk about is how we inject some DVRT goodness into our plank position. So the first thing I like to do is just take my pretty little ultimate sandbag here, and I'm going to make sure that ultimate sandbag is right against my thighs, so the logo is above my belly button. Bringing my hands close together, my feet out nice and wide. Now what I want you to notice is how I didn't start from the top. I didn't come down and try to get into my plank. Because when I do that, there's a good chance that your hips will be jacked up. So I start from the bottom position, making sure that we're right up next to my thighs. Again, hands close together. Notice my fingertips spread wide, grabbing into the ground. Now from here, I want a good wide base with my feet. Now you notice my hips are still up a little bit high, but my feet are loose. But as soon as I press the balls of my feet into the ground, you notice what just happened there. My hips created a solid foundation because of my feet's relationship with the floor. And that's what we're looking for. That's what sets us up for the success of the plank exercise. Coming into it again, it's all about the pressing of the feet and the pressing of the hands. Now just to own that plank position is a good starting point. So if you need to really experience not sagging, not drooping, but getting those hands and feet together, you're doing okay. The next progression up is to take our ultimate sandbag. Notice I'm going to drive that hand to the ground. So when I pick up the hand, I don't pick up the hand, I push the hand off the ground. If I pick up my hand, I just sink down. So I'm going to establish that push, and I'm going to hold on to that bag and pull all the slack. I'm going to drive those feet in. And I like to do that for about 6 seconds. Switch sides, hold it for another 6 seconds. And I usually like to alternate that for a total of 6 times. Because that's pretty darn intense. And if I'm having somebody do that for long periods of time or a whole lot of volume, they're going to start faltering. They'll fall to their own. Again, this is a very intense drill. So we want to make sure we keep that volume low enough that we can instill good success and good motor learning for the brain. From there, we feel pretty confident about that. I'm not going to set up the same way. Moving my ultimate sandbag out to the side. So as I set up in that same strong plank position, strong hands, strong feet, I get that press, and I'm going to drag the ultimate sandbag across my body. Watching out for any hip turn. If I'm seeing the hips turn, my feet aren't doing their job. So I've got to establish that foundation through the feet. Lock it in, get that strong press. Notice no bending of the elbows. Pressing into the ground, establish those feet. Boom. You don't have to go fast. You should not go fast with that. If you're throwing the bag across your body and you're noticing all this movement, you're probably not even noticing. Record yourself. If you notice all that movement now through the studying of the film, we got to work on it. And another way to regress this down now, so I'm taking up to some progressions. If you want to work on this, but you can't keep the success of the plank as you're dragging the bag or just pulling on the handle, we need to do with our ultimate sandbag. Set it down, and now we're going to be in our bird dog position. Feet and hands are still very important. Lock it in. Notice now, I'm going to, full of intent, grab here. So my first move is not to sink down. Establish that press. Now as I drag onto the ultimate sandbag, not pulling it, not dragging it, just pull on that handle. Notice the elbows staying packed and tight, no energy leaks. Pull, 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 pull. Reset, reestablish those feet. Drive through the floor, pull, 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 pull. Once you've got that established, then you can feel freedom. Take our ultimate sandbag for a little ride. across that body. Keep that strong press through the hands and feet, and you're going to really feel and experience what core training is all about. We'll really know what that plank is all about. Building that strong foundation of the plank now from the floor, we can start exploring in the standing position as we're walking, taking that plank from inside the gym and moving it out. And that's where it matters the most.